Hey Soul Tribe fam, I have another lyrical message. Um, Love is on the heart and mind of God, marriage, kingdom marriages. This word is probably going to be titled, I Will Never Lie Again. I only think of you on 2 occasions constantly. Okay, so the first song is Never Lie by, at that time, Immature. Now, I think what's really interesting about this combination that the Lord gave me is Immature changed their name to I Am X, and it was to they thought that immature was too immature. They had outgrown it. I think we start this word off by saying there has been progress in this journey. Really, the both of you have matured. According to the Bible, it says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, but when I became an adult, I put childish things to the side. I'm paraphrasing, so don't quote me exactly on that. Um, but the first song is Never Lie. So it says, friends come a dime a dozen. Ooh. But I know that I will never find a friend like you. Ooh. So the two of you are or were friends, great friends. It says, and that's why I want to sing this song. Wherever you are, wherever, I will never lie again. Ooh. Okay. So they want to let you know that they've matured. They've put away those childish ways, those childish things that they used to allow to run them in many ways, and they've matured, and now they want to let you know singing, maybe they'll be rambling, or maybe it'll be coming out very fast. They've just got to get it off their chest, just another form of talking even. So it says that I will never lie again. I will never lie again. I promise. So maybe in the past, maybe in the past they lied to you about whatever the case may be. I'm hearing God say that they lied to protect themselves. They lied to you about their feelings to protect themselves, but they've now matured and they realize that they were wrong. So it says, I will never lie again. Ooh, because you will always be my friend. You will always be. So this friendship is so strong that they know that despite the ups and downs, the challenges, you, no matter what, will be their friend. You'll always be a friend to them. Says, I will never lie again because you will always be my friend, because a friend like you will last forever. Okay, they know that you're the type of friend that will truly last forever. You will weather the weather with them. You are, not a one in a million, but a once in a lifetime. It's very rare, especially these days, to find friends. And they found that type of friend in you. And, they fumbled, but now they're realizing how they fumbled the ball, and they're ready to retrieve it. They're ready to get the ball rolling again, so to speak. So it says, sitting in my window, I'm thinking of you. and all the fun things we used to do. So, whether they're sitting in their window or sitting in their car or just sitting, they're reflecting on the fun times you all had together, the memories that you made, the laughs that you shared, the fun things that you did together. And they're missing that. They're of that, reminiscing on that, I should say. It says, I feel the pain. Please come back to me. They're hurting because they realize again that, you know, they they lied, and potentially in their feeling, they could have messed everything up, so to speak, with the friendship with you. And it's painful. It hurts to know that they weren't forthcoming with someone that they truly cared about. And it says, because a friend like you will only come once in a lifetime. So again, here we are back to that, once in a lifetime. You're a rarity. Your friendship is a rarity. And they know that they will never have that type of friend again. That type of friendship it's a very deep connective friendship, and that's because God is in the mix. God put you two together, and that's why the friendship is so deep. That's why you're so connected. That's why, there's this type of pain there. So it says, on the phone when you were here laughing and joking, crying and sulking. So they knew that you were the type of person, you could you could laugh and joke, you could cry and sulk, whatever it was, you all could weather it together. It says, in my dreams, you're still with me because a friend like you will only come once in a lifetime. So, they're dreaming of you. They're not only thinking of you and reminiscing, but they're also dreaming of you, of this connection, of this reconnection. And one of the songs God also highlighted to me was Dreaming of You by Selena, but it's the part where she says, I'll be dreaming of you tonight. And then it changes towards the very end, and she says, I'll be dreaming with you tonight. Now, I think that was very interesting. One, because maybe it goes from dreaming of this connection resurfacing, dreaming of being with that person, to actually finally connecting with them and being with them. But also, the two of you are so connected because this is a God thing, because this is a kingdom connection, that the two of you may be dreaming of each other at the same time, and it's a simultaneous dream. You're so connected that the two of you can be dreaming the same thing at the same time. You can almost be communicating in your dreams with one another. um so back to constantly, or I'm sorry, back to I will never lie again. So they just continue to talk about how they will never lie. Maybe there was one or more lies that were told to you, in this connection, and they know now that they should have just been forthcoming. They should have told you what was on their mind. They should have shared really their heart with you, but at the time they couldn't. They didn't. They didn't. They didn't have the will to do it, maybe. Maybe they weren't awakened to the connection. These kingdom connections are can be very scary, right? Because they seem so surreal. The connection is so deep that it's scary. It can seem fake. And so maybe that was that person's, like, their trauma response, their armor, so to speak, to cover themselves from, potentially being hurt, was to lie. Okay. The next song is Constantly. Now it goes, both songs were released in 1994, I believe. And I want to give you guys the album. Playtime is Over. The album was Playtime is Over. And I think that too is very indicative of, what's going on with these kingdom spouses now. Playtime is over. They're done playing. They've lied. They played that game. They realized it didn't get them very far. In fact, it left them in pain. It left them in pain because now, it feels maybe for some like you're just a, a loss, like there's just that void, there's that loss there. So constantly I think about you all the time. Constantly you're on my mind. At night I try to close my eyes, but I can't get much sleep. You're always on my mind. You look so fine. Often pretend that you're my girl, or at least my friend. So here we are back to, thinking of you constantly. And I'm also hearing, I only think of you on two occasions. That's day and night, night and day, constantly. And not only in my waking, but in my dreams, constantly. It's never ending. I'm always thinking about you. You're always on my mind. And it says, also, or at least you're my friend. So again, we're back to the friend. This friendship is a rarity. It doesn't come often. And they're longing for that. They're longing for their friend back. They're longing for that connection again, and not just the connection that you had that was based on the lies, but a deeper connection, because they've now matured. They're no longer immature. Okay, so it says, if you could read my mind, the only thing you'd find is you. So again, you're always on my mind. It feels as though my mind doesn't even have the capacity to think about anything else because you're on it all the time. It says, girl, don't you know I long to be with you? There's a longing, there's a desire. They want you, nobody else. It's can only be you. It is only you. There's nobody else will fit the bill. Okay. Um, it says, every single way of every single day, I start drifting away and I think of you. They could be doing other things and you come on their mind. They, whatever they're doing. They could be working out, they could be working, they could be talking to other people, whatever it is, you pop on their mind, and it's a constant thing. They can't get you off their mind no matter how hard they try. Um and they've tried, they've tried to get you off their mind, but they can't. This love that God has given them for you is so strong that it takes up space in their brain, in their mind, where they're thinking about you constantly. Um, so it just goes on to say, I've got you on my mind constantly, babe. Constantly, and not just all the time. I think about you constantly. Okay. So they're saying there's a difference between telling you that you're on my mind all the time and telling you constantly. Okay. Constant is just something that is continuous. Think about a loop, or whatever the case may be. It's infinite. It's infinite. You don't leave their mind at all, day or night, night or day. In their dreams, it's you. It says, if you only knew I'm crazy for you. They just want you so bad. They don't know what to do. They don't necessarily know how to come to you and tell you, but at the same time, um they're in their head. Maybe they're in their head a lot on how to come to you. It says, I practice my words and I build up the nerve, but words disappear whenever you're near. Okay, maybe they start stuttering, maybe they just decide they're not going to say something. Maybe this is something that they've rehearsed in their head and they have it down pat, and you get in front of them and they just lock up, right? And daughters of God, you're like, I know, just spit it out, right? Whatever it is, however it comes out, we'll work through it. Just let me know. You've been waiting to hear something. You've been waiting to hear it, and God has put such a love in your heart for this person that it doesn't matter if what they say is completely backwards. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be okay with it. You're gonna understand it because God has given you the ability to understand them, to understand how they think, to understand how they talk, to follow along with them. So they're in their head about things that are really irrelevant, because God has given you the grace, the capacity to understand them, to help you steward this relationship well. So it says, I catch your eye time after time. Is love in the air, or is it all in my mind? No, bruh. It's not all in your mind. Love is in the air, and it's thick, and it's on the heart and mind of God. And love is truly in the air. You're not dreaming. It's not in your mind. You're not tripping. You're not crazy. It is truly what it is, and God has placed that love in your heart for this person. So again, he says, if you could read my mind, the only thing you'd find is you. Girl, don't you know I long to be with you? Every single way of every single day, I start drifting and I think of you. So constantly, when I wake up in the morning, when I go to bed at night, constantly, I think about you all the time. Constantly, you're on my mind. Constantly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Constantly, I want you, baby. Please come to me. There is such a longing in not only your God ordained spouse's heart, but also your heart for this connection, for this reconnection, I should say. And they're like, just come to me, please, come to me. And what they fail to realize is, all they have to do is come to you. It's so simple, yet not. you know um Sons of God, don't don't be in your head too much about it. This connection is deep, yeah, it can feel scary, but God has given your God ordained spouse the ability to love you with reckless abandon, right? Because perfect love casts out all fear. God is perfect love, and He has given this love to the two of you, and He's not gonna hurt you. You know, He's not gonna hurt either of you. That's not His wish. God's wish is that you have life and have it more abundantly. You know, before I formed you in the womb, it says I knew you. And these kingdom, connections, as far as God ordained spouses are concerned, you were made for this person. I'm hearing the song "Made for Me." Twin, where you been? And not on no new age tip, but just really on the fact that I'm hearing mirrors, like you reflect them. You reflect them. Your essence reflects their essence because you were made for them. God made you for them. God said that it's not good for man to be alone, so He created woman. And God made you for that man. God, this is something that God did before the beginning of time, before He put you in your mother's womb, before He put him in his mother's womb. He knew who He was going to create for him. He knew that he was going to need somebody, so that he isn't alone. And so just trust in that. Trust that the will of God will never take you where His grace will not protect you, and trust that the love that God has given you, the love that God has created for you, is truly that. This love is a healing type love, so to speak, because the two of you will heal wounds within each other that you did not create. And of course, it's not the two of you, it's God, but the love that He has given each of you for one another will help heal those wounds. And you just have to trust God. You have to trust God that He knows what He's doing, that He knew what He was doing, that God, made this good. He that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. He that finds a wife, also, daughters of God, he that finds a wife, you have to be a wife first. He finds a wife because you are a wife to God. Okay, you are the bride of Christ. You're not a wife just because He goes and picks you up on the street and says, "Marry me." Okay, that's not how it works. So God has put you through a process also into pruning and refining you and teaching you how to be a wife, so that when He does wake your Adam up, He can recognize you as bone of His bone and flesh of His flesh. Okay. And going back to thinking about the song, how it says, laughing and joking, crying and sulking, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. When you need me to be hard and be tough, I can be that. When you need me to be soft and mushy, I can be that too. The duality that the two of you will have in being able to support one another, because that is something that God has gifted you. That's something that God has graced the both of you with for one another. So, yeah, I will never lie again. I only think of you on 2 occasions. That's constantly. And it doesn't stop in night and day or day and night. It goes through to your dreams. So may you all hold on to those dreams, and hold on to each other, and hold on to what God has told you. Hold on to what God has told you. All right, everyone. I love you with the love of the Lord. God loves you so much more. Have a blessed morning. It's like 12:48 a.m. where I am, but God said I couldn't go to sleep until I got this word out. So have a blessed morning, night, afternoon, wherever this word meets you, in purpose, on purpose. And remember, don't just go grabbing words because they sound good and they sound applicable. Take this word, take me to God, be good stewards over, your lives and over the things that God is telling you. All right, everyone. Love you with the love of the Lord. Have a great night.